So
This conference will now be recorded.
now today we are going to automate this page, book a flight. Okay, so in the last class, the updates were the data driving, parameterization of test data using Excel spreadsheet, and also we incorporated some logs, console logs. So normally we can use our own logs using system.out.println in the reusable functions so that it will automatically call and print wherever they're called. Or we can use advanced logging using log4j or other stuff. We are not going to do that right now because we don't need. So we are going to just use this logging and we are going to put this in property file and put it in PDF. That's later reporting enhancements. So we are going to continue automation using data-driven testing for this page also. So what I did was yesterday I took the data pool Excel spreadsheet. Instead of putting somewhere in the C drive, I just made it part of the project itself so that we don't have to share this separately. Okay. So I just created another folder. This is not a package, so you can see the difference. The package looks like this. This is a Java package. Since this is not a Java, just put this file folder and put it in. Okay. Somebody asking question? Hello.
No, background noise.
Muhammad Farid. Are you asking question or are you just unmuted? I mean, can you mute if you don't have any question?
No, because you respond. You need to
Farid, can you mute yourself because others are getting disturbed? It's a background noise.
I didn't know that. Literally, where you can keep getting good things.
Okay, let me see. Can I mute? Okay, great. You are already in. I can't mute anyone. Okay, so if you have any questions, just unmute and ask the question. Okay. Okay, so some people have asked some questions like in the email. I tried to answer them. I don't know whether they are resolved or not. So they couldn't import this project. When I unzip it, normally what I do is I'll right click and export. All right, and export as archive file. That means zip file. Okay, so this is stored in this particular location. All right. So when I finish, it will store as zip file. Okay, so this one. So what you're going to do is you are going to unzip it, extract here. All right. Now once it unzips, it will look like this. Automation tutorial, blah blah blah, and inside you will see these folders, right? Dot settings is for the Eclipse settings, like how do you want your font to be this big and color, font size, font type, and this structure perspective. Everything will be there in the preferences. Okay, you can actually open it and see, but you don't need it, but you can leave it as it is. And second folder is bin means binary. Okay, so most people are what they are doing is they are opening the bin folder. Okay, they are opening any folder inside and trying to open one of these files. Okay, what is this file called? This file is a anybody, what is this file called?
Class file.
Class file, right? So can you open a class file? I mean, what is there in the class file? Class file doesn't have anything.
That with Java, then you can open it.
Right. So class file, when you open class file, it will look like something like this. Okay. Mostly unreadable characters. Okay. Somebody said they are saying alien characters. Obviously we'll see these special characters because this class file is it's created by JDK after you compile your Java file. Okay, Java file is what we are working on. So these are Java files. See, this extension is Java. That means this is your file. This is what we are working on. It's mostly in English. This is called high or some high level language. Okay, it's almost last time I used this word in C++. This is a high level language. That means it is understood by the end user, coder, developer, whoever it is. Now when you run it, okay, in the olden days we used to compile and then run, but this run will automatically compile and run. So when you run, it will compile and create a corresponding class file like this. Exactly, the name will be similar. Okay, demo test.java, correspondingly it will create demo.class file. Now class file will be used to run, compiles into class file. If there is no compilation errors, successfully it will create this class file and run this one. So that means it will run. So this is a machine language almost, it's not even machine language, close to machine language. Machine language will be in zeros and ones, binary language. So obviously you cannot edit it. Okay, you're not supposed to understand it. So what they are doing is they are opening and they couldn't understand, so they are complaining. So I answered them, do not open the bin folder. Even you don't need the bin folder, I can delete it and export it. But since we are exporting using zip file in Google Drive or email, for now it is okay. But going forward in the next class or something, I will show you how to share this project in the GitHub. Okay, so in real-time projects we are going to share the projects using Subversion, svn or Git. So GitHub is open source, so we are going to use a GitHub in which there is no bin. So I'm not going to share this bin folder at all because that's not useful, right? So do not open this bin folder for now. That's what I'm asking you. And resource folder is what I created for the data pool. So remember yesterday I created a data pool and put some data. Everybody remembers, right? So this is the data where we are going to store the test data and use this, pass this data in the application. So this, instead of putting in C drive, I thought I would put it in the project itself. So that's why I created folder. So you can easily create a folder, new, instead of package, there is a folder option. That's what I created and put this one inside here, so that when I share this project, you will automatically get the updates in data pool also. That's easy. Okay, so after this, what is the next folder is? What is this folder called? Anyone?
Source folder.
Source folder. This is the important folder. This is not the important folder. Binary folder is not. Source folder is important folder for test automation guys or developers. So when I open any one of these, let's say I'm opening this. Yeah, this is a Java file exactly. You can open with the notepad. So you can share this. Even you can also update this. But I still suggest use the Eclipse. Okay. So all the source file Java files will be inside. Even the test cases, say exactly similar to what we have worked on. And all these page objects you can open and see. Without Eclipse also you can open in the notepad. So you can also update, but that's not recommended. Okay, so what are the other files? Class path will be telling you how to open this class path, the environment variable class path. So do not touch it. And git ignore is for specifying what to shade in the git when we shade in the git. So I'll show you. Project is for locating what this project. You can open with the notepad. So let's quickly see what git ignore says clearly. See, bin folder is ignored, so it's not going to shade when we share using GitHub. So whatever I want to ignore, like I can also ignore some property file, Excel file. Excel file I don't want to ignore, so that's why I did not add. So .git ignore will say whatever you want to ignore, you can mention here. So for example, I want to ignore, let's say resource, so I can add this. Whatever is there in the resource, just ignore it. So that's not my point. I'm not going to ignore resource. So only the bin folder will, because of the stated reasons, because this is not useful. You're going to, you don't have to worry about the bin, because when you run it, automatically it will create the bin folder for you and corresponding class file. So this is individual machines the pin. It will update. It will be updated according to your runs executions. If you run like 1000 times, it will be updated 1000 times. Okay. All right. So now question is, how do you this thing? How do you import it? When I export it, you have to import. So all you have to do is just watch carefully. When I export it, I use this option. Now when you import, use this option, import, right? Now import as archive file, or if you unzipped it, use the file system or existing project in the workspace, just play around with it, okay? And next, and just right click and go to the folder in which you downloaded this, right? From the email or wherever, and just upload in this one, okay? So then you will get your option finish. So since I already have it's not up enabled, but you will get it. Or if you do this, if you already unzip this package, let's say, then go back, select that option, existing projects into workspace, and then browse. All right, and my project is in somewhere. Okay, then select it, and automatically it will add it here. Okay, so this is my project, C automation projects automation tutorial, and you're going to select it. Since I already have exactly similar name automation tutorial, it wouldn't let me, so you will get it automatically. Okay, then click finish, and it will exactly add this structure for you. Clear? I think some people could do this, some people couldn't, so this is for the for those who couldn't. Okay, so now any more questions?
Sorry, Sangam, can you repeat it one more time so that I can recall it again? Can you
Sure.
please?
So you get this in the email, right? I'm sharing this in email right now. Going
Yes.
forward, I'll share it in GitHub. That is a different story. I'll tell that. So when you unzip it, you will get this one, correct?
Yes.
So my
Yes.
unzip folder is automation. Now what you're going to do is go to file, go to import,
Okay.
okay. Then select existing projects into workspace,
Okay.
okay. Then next, then select root directory, click on browse. All right.
All right.
Now you're going to this wherever you unzipped it. So it could be in any folder inside your laptop, right? Then go to that, let's say C automation projects, automation tutorial. So go OK. Then it is going to load it for you. Okay. So now
Okay.
it loaded. Okay. So now you're going to select this checkbox and click finish. That's it.
Yeah.
Got it, right? Now I already have it. So that's
You
why
already
finish
have it.
is
Yeah.
enabled. So you're going to get it. It's very
Okay.
easy.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. So let's go back to where we are last in the last class. So we are at this position, I mean this page in which we have to automate this part, right? Passengers, first name, last name, and credit card details, billing address, and secure purchase. So that's the last but one page, I guess. One more page is there, and we have to validate this portion also because we have booked the ticket for 2 people, and that is from London to Paris and Paris to London, two-way tickets, and so the price has to be two price plus flow price multiplied by 2 number of passengers plus some tax. The total price is this. This is what we are going to pay using credit card. But we have to actually validate this because we don't know developer has done a good job or not. So if the calculation is wrong, so in which case if it is less, then the client is going to lose. If it is more, then the customer is going to lose. So both are not good. So we have to validate that it's exactly the same amount. Calculation is correct. Okay. Now we are going to use the same technique that we've used. What is a data driven testing? Okay, so before that we have to create regularly what we have been doing. We are creating this page class, book a flight, in both page objects and page flows. So let's start with the page objects because we have to capture XPaths first. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. And the page name is book a flight. So let's keep the same name as a page name, book a flight, and this is about objects and finish. and one more class in the page flows, and I want to call it by the same name, book a flight page. Okay, so let's go to the book a flight object and add the exports, whatever the exports we have here. Okay, so starting with which object you want to capture exports for. I'm just going to open the DOM. Yes, what is the first object you want to capture exports for? Tell me quickly. I mean, it's a common sense. Use your common sense and tell me.
You wanna verify that the price or
Yes, I
yeah?
do
So
want
get
to.
text.
So export is for this one, okay, not this one. So you can start with this one, but you have to say the first things first. Okay, so this is the first export I want to capture because I want to do something for this, and I told you even though it is text, it's also an object. Everything is an object in this page.
Yeah.
So let's capture that. So first thing what I'm gonna capture is I am gonna verify whether the this one, the flight price, United Airlines flight price from for the first class is $281. So let's capture that and store it in an integer variable or string variable first. Okay, so this is what it is coming up with, and we have to write the export for. So Control F again. Okay, so now tell me, how do you want to write export regularly? / font, right? So we can say font, but I will show you different way. So font, but this font is in the TD. TD is in a TR. TR is in a table. So if you look at this, this is a whole table, and this is a table row. These are all rows. Okay, this is first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, something like this. And these cells are the table data. So in the web table, there are table rows. So web table is called table. This is the whole thing is a table object. All right, where is this? Yeah, this is a table object. See, the whole thing is table object. Table objects has table body, okay, inside, and table body is nothing but just excluding the header. That's it. Table body has table rows. So these are all rows. Row 1, 2, 3, and every row has some cells. Okay, don't worry about the columns. Columns are not included in the web table, and automatically it will be taken into consideration table data. So table data is actually single cell. Okay, so see the single cell, United Airlines, that's the table data. TD, TR means table row, TD means table data. So table data that we are interested in is this one. Okay, so in the table data, the text is formatted using this font object. Okay, so font size -1 face Arial font type is Arial. Okay, now 281 is the text. Now this is what we are capturing, but we have to write first. So let's see how we can write it. So one way is using directly text object, right? To text property. So I told you when nothing is there, use a text. That's not going to work here because you don't know what this price is, right? This is dynamic and there is no static. Okay, just dynamic. There is no static value at all attached to it. So this value is subject to change according to the airlines you are going to select. So this is totally dynamic. So we have to find other ways. Now other ways is using the table object now. So for the web table, we have to use different technique for writing export. So let's see how we can write. Okay, so let's see how many tables are there. First, I'm going to write table. Okay, there are 14 tables, hidden, non-hidden, visible, everything included. Okay, now let's dig down to our own table here. Okay. Okay, table. This thing is border 0, width 100%, cell spreading. That's not gonna help. Okay, so and if you look at it, there is one T body and there are many table rows, and this is 0th or first. We don't know. Okay, so the technique for table object is whenever you encounter a table, the easiest option is just right click on it. Okay, not here. So let's right click on whichever we are interested in. This one. Where is it? Yeah, this one, right? So right click on it and copy, and there is an option called copy XPath. Okay, so now you can ask me why didn't we use this copy XPath before? Because for others it's easy. Without using this it would be easier, but for table object without using this option it would be difficult. It's still possible, but it will take a lot of time. So it will be easier if I copy XPath for the table object and customize it. Okay, so I'll just paste it over here. It is actually very lengthy because it's still considered to be, what is this kind of XPath? This is a absolute XPath. That means starting from HTML, which is the topmost element in this page, coming down to the descendant element, which is our font, whatever it is. Okay. So this is not good because the technique we are using is the, what kind of XPath we have been preparing so far? The relative XPath, correct? So now we have to make this relative. That's what we have to do. So let's go to the first table object from the right, because there may be other table objects. This is also table. Okay. So from right, if I look at it, this is a table object, right? So now take off whole portion from left because we are not going to need it right now. We are going to need it if we get more than one match. So take it out and put double slash. Okay. So now what you see automatically, right? There is one match. Okay. Now it is as easy as that. That's why I said when you encounter table object, right click on it, copy and customize it. That means what you're going to get is absolute XPath. Now you make it as a what is this called, relative XPath by putting double slash, but take the only objects which you need. Okay, so right now what I need is just table and table body, and what I'm interested in is what is the row number 3. So if you look at it, 0 1 2 3, so everything starts from 0. So this is the first row, 0th row, this is the first row, second row, third row. So our element is in the third row. So that's why table has a T body. Exactly, the hierarchy is exactly something like this. Exactly. Table body, T body has table row, and which table row? Third table row. So you specify it in the brackets like this. And this has table data. So table data is nothing but columns, cells. Okay. So starting from 0, 1, 2. Okay. Now this actually start from 1 only. Okay. So you have to be careful. It changes. So this is 1, 2, 3. So this is my third data. So that's why instead of me guessing what is the number of row, what is the number of table data, I just copied it and let the Chrome work on it. And boom, TD has font. So now if I want to customize, I can take the font top 2 and see if it's still gonna give me one match. Still is gonna give me one match because the table data is all I need. I don't care about the font in here. So all I need, the hierarchy is there is a table and table body in which table row number is 3 and table data number is 3, and it is exactly highlighting. So I can take it. Okay, so that's how you work on the table objects. Yes, I know you have some doubts, so ask.
Yeah, no. If you take it out like table, T-body and table, so it will be work, I think. It is okay, or
say that again. I didn't hear.
Like if you take it out like table and T-body, so still it will be match 1 of 1. It will be good, like.
Oh, so you wanna construct this table from like you type it table body, then you
No,
try.
if you take it out, the table and T-body, it will still one match.
Okay. No, it won't work because it doesn't know which table. It might work, but you want to keep this one. Okay, let's try if it still works. Okay, you are saying there is a table row whose number is 3, third table row, and there is a table data. Okay, let's try. Yeah, it still works. Right now it works because there is no other table in which there is a table row 3 and table data 3. So we are lucky. If there are other tables exactly like this, then you are going to specify. So that's why I said if I don't get one of one for this one, I'm gonna include more tables. That's what I said in the beginning, right? There will be
Yeah.
one more table. So I was gonna write like this table, then it has a T body and boom, blah blah blah. So until I get one of one match. Since we have got lucky, I can take it in. So that's why I said if I control Z, it will go to all the way. Okay, let me control Z, control Z, control Z, control Z. Okay, so this is the original, right? When I right clicked on this, copied XPath, this gave me this one, right? Now this we can take it. There is nothing wrong because it's one of one mesh. But the problem is it's very lengthy. It's very awkward. We don't need this one. Okay, now the technique I told you is come from the right because there are many tables. If you look at it, I'll explain once only. You can play with this. So this means there is HTML and HTML is topmost and body is the topmost second, and there is a div and there is a table. Table has T body, table has T body and table row and table data. So table row doesn't have any number of rows, just one row. So there is a table data too, and in which there is one more table. So these are called nested tables. Table within a table within a table within a table. There are like multiple tables. You can see the hierarchy here like this, something like this. The padding will be there. You don't need all this, so all you need is the last table. Okay, now let's say there is it's gonna give me one of two match. Then I'm gonna go little left and take this table. Still there is not one match. Then I'm gonna go to next table. It's parent table. Okay, so this is the parent table of this table data guy, and I want to take parent's parent. So then I can include this one. But let's see if this works without this grandparent. Does it work? Let's see. Yes, it does. Okay, so when it does, you don't need to. But even if you take table data, it might work, but that is too less. You don't want to do that because you want to know there is a table body. There is only one table visibly. Okay, and there are other tables too, but these are not visible. That's the only difference. So this is not bad. Just one or two or three elements, those are not bad. So you don't want to take. Even if you take TD3, it's still gonna work. Okay. Oh, there is one of 8. See, it's not gonna work. So let's take this one because it's up to you. Just use your judgment call and take it. As long as you're getting one of one mesh, that's fine. But keep it short. That's what I'm saying. So public static final string, and I'm gonna call this as a table because that's a type of object, right? And that's for summary. Okay, but summary is not the whole. We are not taking the whole summary, but we are taking this price, right? So this price actually belongs to two price. Okay, New York to Paris. This is fro price. That means come return ticket. This is the depart. This is the return. So let's call this depart price or depart flight price. Depart price, and that will be equal to. Okay, so everybody is okay with this table XPath. We are gonna do the same thing for others. Okay, so this is the standard technique. I have actually noted down in the notes. I'm going to share the notes. Don't worry. But if you practice, you don't need the notes. You can easily do. Okay, the next thing I'm going to capture is the return price. Okay, return price coming from Paris to New York, right? So that would be $303. So according to my guess, if this is third row, this is the fourth row, this should be fifth row. So TR will be 5. So let's just try it without doing all this. Okay, so my guess is little bit wrong because there is one more row here. Okay, I did not consider, so that might be 6. Okay, so bingo, this is selected. See, when I highlight on the yellow, it's selecting my return price. So that's it, I can take it in. So let me copy this. Okay, so this will be called return price, and all I need to change is table row number. Okay, so font is optional. You can take it's nothing wrong even if you take it because it's already short. So let's keep it. And number of passengers we booked for 2, right? So Now we want to verify whether the 2 is actually being calculated the price for. If it is 3, we have to pay more, right? That's not good. If it is 1, the client is going to lose. It's less. So either way it is wrong. So we have to validate that. So according to my guess, this is 1 extra row, right? So that should be 7. So let's try. Maybe right, maybe wrong. So yes, wrong. Because that's what I thought. This table ended. Looks like it ended here. So let's take it like this. Okay, so again same technique. This lies in TD. That means it is in the table. So let's use the same technique. No exceptions. So copy XPath. You will see a lot of copy options. Copy outer HTML. No. Copy CSS selector. This is CSS. No. JS path. JavaScript path. No. Only XPath. Okay. Now, if you are using Firefox, you will have to use Firebug. If we are using Chrome, Chrome has default XPath validator. So I suggest go for the Chrome. Okay. Now font td tr table date table body table. Now I'm gonna delete everything from the left and put a double slash, and I got one match. So this is mine. Control C, Control V. And what is this? What is this for? What do you want to call this? Table underscore
Passenger.
number of passengers or passengers. So let's be specific, because passengers, you don't know what is the passengers. Number of passengers is clear. Okay, so that's done. Let's do for the others quickly. And the next one is taxes. So my guess, let's guess first, educated guess. So table data, table row 7. So obviously this table row should be 8. Table data is 1, 2. 2 is okay. So let's make 8 and see. Yes, that's correct. So let's take it. And I want to call this taxes. So table taxes.
Sangam, hello.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. So we are putting the expat for this space. So do we can use also CS or no? Is allow you or no? Just want to make
Which
sure.
one? Space.
If CSS preview, we can use it or no? Like it allow.
CSS selector, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
This one? Yeah, you can use it, but it will look like this. I will show you quickly. Okay. So this will look like this. Okay. Now we have to work on it a little bit. So let's say I'm going to take from table from here. Okay. So I'm going to delete it. Now you have to, there is arrow marks, right? This means table has a T body, has a table, or otherwise fonts. This thing, parent is this and its parent is this, like this. Now you have to take out this whole thing, put a dot. Okay. That's first. All right. There is a rework here. You have to do this all, replace all this space, right arrow space, I mean greater than symbol space, replace them by dot.
But it's allow, right?
Now I'm going to tell you. Now you have to store it as public static final string x, same thing. Okay, public. I just tell you, but we don't need to use this. I'll just, because you brought it up, I'll tell you. So that is for what? Let's say table underscore. This is actually CSS, but we don't mention CSS here. So let's say that is for some object XYZ. Okay, and so take off any spaces and dots has to be clearer. And see, I don't know whether, yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right. Now you have done this, correct? This is the CSS selector. Now, how do we use this? Now, so far we have been using, let's go to directly the infrastructure, because that's where we have defined how we are going to click on it. Okay. So this is simple example. Okay, let's say that is a link. Okay, so how do you click a link using XPath? Driver dot find element by XPath and pass the XPath expression. Instead of this, what you're gonna do is driver dot. Yeah, exactly. Instead of XPath, you're gonna select CSS. That's it. That is the only difference. Find element by dot, and now you choose. Now you have chosen to use CSS. Now you pass that one, whatever is there. You know. So whole thing is the CSS, then dot click. Simple. But the problem you already saw, right? What is the problem? Problem is like it's not a problem. Problem is it's very lengthy. You have to work on it. CSS is easy. This is a little awkward. So we are not going to use it, obviously. So let's take it off. Okay, so this is actually time consuming. Also, it is not as efficient as XPath. Okay, it is faster than XPath. That is true, but accuracy wise, this is not as accurate as XPath. So preference is given to XPath. So that's why you can explain in the interviews also why you want to use
Yeah,
XPath.
that's I just think in case if they ask for
Right.
interview, why not using C?
Correct. Yeah. So why not CSS? You can say same thing. It is faster, but accuracy wise, XPath is better, and also you have to work on it. You have to remove those arrow marks and put the dot, and that's going to take little time. And its readability wise, it's not very readable. Okay, the XPath is more readable. I can easily say just by looking at it, the slash will tell me this is the parent table as table body, tr, then table. Boom. And here, if you look at it, is cumbersome. I can't understand unless until I take a very good look at it. Okay, so let's take the XPath for this guy. Same way, copy, export, and last table is this, double slash, and boom, I got it. You can actually take the last B. B is for the board. Okay. Oh, okay. So if I take up the board, I'm getting 2 matches, right? So it's better to keep B. So always be careful, and ultimately you have to get 1 of 1 match. Okay. So now I'm going to take this and copy over, and the last is for total price. Okay, so far we have just captured. Okay, we are gonna we will capture this later because I can actually give this part for homework for you. Okay, guys, because this time consuming and you can do it at home. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Leave the billing address. Okay, because the billing address is dummy. Just leave it. And 10, last one. So just do it as homework. It will be very easy. Don't have to do anything. Even if you want to use the same technique for this, you can use this. Okay, if you're lazy, even though it's not table, you go and copy, and let's see what it's going to come up with. Same thing. So yeah, it is also in table. Okay, so take it off and you'll get a 1 match. What happened? Oh, actually went backward. That's okay. Actually went backspace. Okay, so right now we are good with the XPaths. What happened to this? Why we are seeing error? Because there is no
And
empty.
yeah,
Okay, so now we are gonna go and do this. Okay, before this I lost the page, so I'm gonna rerun because I need the page in order to understand what the flow is. Okay, so we landed up here, right? All right, so come back here. Now we have to little bit work on it. These are not operations wise, there is nothing we can do. So all we have to do is capture this text from there, right? And we have the function. Okay, if you don't know the function, you have to know what you want to do, right? That is, first let's create public void, and the function is for the summary. Let's create separate function for summary, the bucket light. And we have to pass WebDriver as usual. Okay, and import. Okay, so I want to capture this. How do we capture this? In a regular way, I will show you regular way and advanced way. Driver dot find element by dot XPath, and the XPath is coming from bouquet flight object, right? dot. Now that is for, what is that guy? Depart price, right? The first one is depart price, $281. United Airlines 366 New York to Paris. That is depart price. Okay. Now I want to get that. I don't want to click it. It's not a clickable object. It's not a fillable object. It's not a selectable object, but it is a capturable object. Correct. So I want to capture. What is the method? Dot
get text.
Get text. That's correct. Get text. So this is going to return me string. So string is returned, so I have to store it in string. So this is the primitive way. We already know this. So I can rename it as depart price and boom. But we already have developed a infrastructure function for this, and which is, anybody can tell me? So let's create operations. OP equals new operations, right? Okay. Okay. So what is that function? Can anybody recall? There is operation function.
Okay, dot.
Dot get text.
Get text, correct. So that is the same name. I didn't want to use a different name. So this will do the same thing for you. So just for the expression, this one. I'm just copying from there and pass it. And obviously this is also gonna return something. That's how we defined it. So I'm using the same function, same variable for storing this. Okay, so this is the advanced way. I mean our framework way. Okay, we can't use a duplicate variable here, but we are not going to use this in the first place. Just going to put it as a reference for you so that you know, okay, this and this both are same, doing the same thing. Okay, now get, I got that, and we have to get others too. So then this is the return price. I'm going to copy instead of writing. So let's call this return price. And all we have to change is the X path. So instead of depart price, we already have this written. Okay, so that's done. Then number of passengers. So actually we need 1, 2, 3 more, right? So I'm gonna copy 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so that is number of passengers, and that would be table underscore number of number of passengers, and the next one is taxes. So let's name it as taxes. This would be table underscore taxes, and this is a total price, and this would be table underscore total price. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we captured everything. Now we have to validate, and first things first, let's see how they're coming as. Okay, in the console I'm going to display these values, right? So I want to see whether we are getting actual price or not by printing. So this is going to print. How we know it's going to print? Because I added this is up already. Remember yesterday, the other day, this whatever it gets, I'm going to print it. Get text for this X path, that's a value. So whatever value is gotten. Okay, so let's quickly rerun again. Oh, sorry. Okay, before this, I forgot one more. What is that? We didn't call it. Without calling it, won't execute this portion. Newly developed code, right? So tell me what we have to call. Flight details. It's actually book a flight. Okay, so how do we call the newly generated function? New book a flight. That is coming from page, not object. Remember? Okay.
Yeah.
So page dot, and there is a function that just said summary. Right? Okay, so that's it. Let's run it now. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'm gonna expand this. Okay, so till this all is done, and this is where we are going to capture all this get text, right? So first thing is 281. Let's see, 281, 303, 303, and $2.96 and $12.64. Perfect. So we are capturing everything perfectly. We can actually add the nice headings over here because everything is combined. So if you wanna add, you can add it at page flow section because that way it will be called everywhere. So let's go there, book a flight page. Okay, so this will actually make this console logs look nice. So let's add sysout, and sysout should say book a flight last name. So before this, I'll just add nice \n. So \n, this will take new line character and book a flight, and that is for summary. Okay, class name followed by hyphen, then function name. Then I will take another \n. Okay. Okay, so if you wanna add more like patterns, or if you wanna do some fancy things, you can add it like this. You can do so. Okay, so let's run one more time just to demonstrate this new console thing. So you can add it to all the page level flows. Okay, so I just added for one, last one. Okay, so I think it is done. Let's take a look at this console. See here, this is how it's gonna look separately. Okay, so now you can add all this here wherever the page ends. So this page is different, book a flight and summary, and it will look nicely here. You can take a new line here also, so that it is. So that's like a separator. Okay, so it will look very good readability wise and reviewing wise. Okay, so now let's add whatever we have captured. What do you want to do with those? Whatever we captured, we want to validate those, right? So let's do that thing quickly. Okay, so first things is whatever we captured, those are strings, and unless until those strings are converted to integer, we cannot compare, because you want to compare this depart price plus return price multiplied by 2 number of passengers plus the taxes will give rise to the total price. That is the equation, and you cannot add strings. Obviously, if you want to add, those have to be doubles or integers, the numbers, right? So you have to convert this, parse these strings to integers. So let's parsing. So parsing is, these are numbers which are strings, then you want to convert these string lookalike numbers to actual numbers, integers. That's exactly what parsing is. Okay, so right now these are strings, but the value is integer number, but they are in the string variable. That's why we cannot validate it, we cannot do arithmetic operations with those, so that's why we are parsing it. So for parsing from string to integer, there is a function integer dot. So let's say this is not a double, I mean there is no cent value right now. Okay, everything is just dollar value, right? So I can go for integer, otherwise I have to use double. Okay, integer dot, there is a function called parse int. Okay, so that's it. Parse int takes a string value and gives you an integer value, corresponding integer value. So if you want to read about this, you can read here. Parses the string argument as a signed decimal integer. Okay, so sign, because it's, if it is positive, it will give positive value, if it is negative, it will give you negative value. So the bottom line, all you have to understand is, okay, I'll demonstrate it for you. Now I'm going to copy this and paste it over here. Now integer dot parse int, if I pass depart price, which is the string value, now parse int is gonna return an integer value whose value is equivalent to the string value. Okay, in this case 281. The value will be retained, but it will be typecast from string to integer. That is the whole objective. Okay. Now I want to store it in an integer variable. Simple as that, right? Okay, integer, the data type is integer. This integer is a class. Remember, this is a primitive data type int that I told you in the first class in Java, right? This is a class integer. That's the difference. So don't worry. All we are doing is parsing. That's all you have to understand. Now I want to store in the same variable. Name I don't want to change because this is not a duplicate variable. Why? Is it a duplicate variable? Rename. Oh, yeah, depart price already. Okay. So let's call this depart price int. Okay. So even though int type is different, you want to name in a different way, because otherwise, even though the type this is a string, this is integer, still it considered it as a duplicate variable. So be careful about that. So now, just because it's an integer, we are calling it an integer, and we are going to use this value for the validation purposes. Okay, so now you understand. Now what you have to do, you know, right? All string values, we want to convert them to integer. So let's do that. Return price int. All right. Now we have the string value. I want to convert it to an integer. So simply integer dot parse int and pass that return price. All right. Any questions? So for this parsing, tell me right now. It's very easy. If you don't understand something, let me know.
Can you repeat one more time, please?
That's why I'm repeating for the different ones. Okay, I am repeating, but repeating for number of. See, look at the number of passengers. What is its value? 2. But what is this data type? String. Now strings cannot be added. I told you they can come. They can be concatenated, but not be added arithmetically, mathematically, right? So I want to convert it. Now string value, I want to convert it to integer. So simply store it in integer. Call it number of passengers only, but give it a different name. Now I told you, if you want to convert string to integer, then there is a class called integer, and function name is parseInt. Okay, and then pass number of passengers. Okay, so what if you say there is a tax called 96.36? Then what you're going to do is you have to store it in a double or long. Okay, so let's use double. Let's say taxes double. Let's say you can call it whatever you want to. Then you have to use double. There is a class called double. Okay, double dot parse double and pass taxes, which is a string. Understood, right? According to situation, you have to change the class. If it is a double, then use. If it is long, you can use long. Same thing. So let's try that long too. We are not going to use double right now, but I just showed you long. So that long, what is the data type name for long? Long. Let's say total price. Total price long. In that case, use long dot parse long. Simple as that. Then pass total price, which is string. Did you understand me? This is very easy. Parsing from string to its original value. That's all we are doing. That's what it's called parsing.
Yes.
Got it right? Any doubts? Tell me right now. This is very important because validation is very important in the automation. Okay, so taxes is actually, it's not double, but let's consider it is 96 point something. Let's imagine there is. So that's why I use double, but right now we don't have to use it double. Let's use int only. So what I'm going to do is, just for the reference, I'm going to leave these two guys intact. In case they are double or long, you can use those. Okay. Now I'm just gonna comment this. Exactly similar. Double dot double parse double. Long dot parse long. Integer dot parse int. Pass the string and it is gonna give integer or double or long. By practice you will understand this more, but this is your first class for this parsing. That's okay. Even if you don't understand 100%, that's okay. Just review it, play with it. Once I share the project, just play around with it and you will get it. Okay. Now, okay, obviously I'm gonna go for integer because those are integers. And let's use integer dot parseInt. Okay, so far we have actually converted. Even if you type something, it will look exactly the same, exactly like this. In it won't change the value because the value remains the same, right? But that the parsing is done for the calculation purposes. That's all you have to understand. Okay. Now let's see, can we calculate, can we add or subtract if we have something like this? No, right? This dollar symbol will obstruct you to do a plus or minus or multiply or division, correct? You cannot add 2 plus $96. Okay, that will be ridiculous. You have to remove this dollar sign. Then 96 plus 2 is 98. Then dollar sign can be added later as just for the printing purposes. So we have to remove these taxes and total price must be gotten rid of with this dollar sign. So let's do that first. Then we can calculate. So these two things have extra, correct? So obviously we cannot parse it because they have something extra symbol. So we have to first get rid of that and come back here. Okay, so this is fine. Let's keep the same value. So I'm just gonna leave the space over there. I take space here. So let's create two more string values, okay, taxes, and store the modified value, but that is by removing this whatever comes 96. I will store in the same value taxes because I am passing the same taxes string to the parse. Okay, let's call this. Okay, so let's take again taxes, correct? Taxes has this value. What is that value? $96. Now $96 is a string. Now I want to get rid of this dollar sign. So how can I get rid of that value? That means what I'm doing is I want to either take a substring or do something with it, string. So there are a lot of string utils. String is a class again, just like integer is, and we will use one of those. Don't worry, those are not reusable functions. We don't have to create them. They are built-in functions. We will just call them. So let's use the string dot. Okay, all of these are built-in functions. Okay, these come along with the Java when you download. Okay, now I want to, one way is I can take substring, or I can replace the dollar sign by space or nothing. That will also do. So I'll do one thing for this and other thing for this so that you will know both things. Okay, so I'll take substring for this, okay, and then I'll replace this dollar sign here. So both techniques you'll be aware of. So let's see string dot. Now there is a function called substring. Okay, oh, string dot. Let's see one more time. Oh, sorry, not string dot. Actually, you have to take the actual string, that is taxes dot. Taxes dot. Okay. Now I want to take substring from this taxes, which is $96. So there are substring with beginning index and ending index. Did we learn about this in Java class? Yes, we did, right? I showed you one example how to take substring. Remember the Shah Rukh Khan example? We took the extracted first name, middle name, last name, similar to that. Okay, so let's take substring by mentioning both beginning index and ending index. If you only mention beginning index, it's gonna take till the end. Okay, so I'm gonna go for this one, okay, because it's more appropriate if I only give beginning index. Okay, now $96 is my string, so let me copy it and put it here for you. Okay, now what is this starting index? Index is 0, correct? 9 is index 1, 6 is index 2. We already know in Java. I showed you. All right, just go back to the class and refresh. Now what is that I'm not interested in dollar? So instead of starting from 0, I can start from 1. So beginning index, if I mention 1, this is gonna return a string with modified value. That means what it is going to return now? It is going to return 96. That means it will start from 96. Okay, we already did this long time ago, so don't worry if you forget. Just listen to this carefully. This is a string, and string again, just like every integer or every array or every table, every extra spreadsheet column, likewise every string starts with the index 0. First index is 0. You already know that in Java. So the my starting index is 0. Okay, if I start from 0, it will start from this and go till the end. If I start from this, I would have to give index 1. If I only want 6, I have to give index 2. So I want only the this, and I know that after dollar whatever start, that's the number. Okay, so I just have to get rid of the first. And if I start from first 1, index 1, automatically it will not take the whatever the first is. It's dollar or rupee or whatever the symbol. Okay, so that's the easiest technique. If you think like this, you will get it. Okay, now if you print this taxes, it will only print the 96. Okay, you can actually see that by printing it separately. Okay, so let's print it and we will demonstrate. So this is going to be modified tax, let's say, because we modified it, right? And equals plus taxes. The reason why I'm storing in the same variable is I don't need this variable value at all. So I am replacing the old value with this 96. Instead of this will have $96, this will have simply 96. So I am printing, and that 96 I am typecasting here, parsing. So I will get the value, original value 96, so that I can do some plus minus arithmetic. Okay, that is done. Now let's go to the total price, because that also has some unwanted character. If you have something like this, we cannot do operations, right? So let's get it up. I'll show you in a different way, because you already know this way. Let's do it a little bit differently. So what is the variable name here? The variable name is total price. So let's take the same variable name. Instead of different one, I'll store in the same variable, and total price equals to total price dot. Okay, and this time around my technique is like this. So instead of starting from so and so index, I just want to replace this unwanted character with null. Okay, then this will automatically disappear. All I am left with is a number. Okay, so that's another technique. So just telling you another technique. Okay, so let's see. There is a function called replace. Okay, replace all, replace first. Okay, so these you can play with these. Replace means it will replace single character, replace with character sequence, replace all with wherever there those symbols are displayed, it will replace all of them with whatever I am interested in. Replace first, only the first instance, first occurrence will be replaced. Okay, now I can go with this or this. So this is most generic way of doing it. So let's go for this one. Now first value will be regular expression. Okay, don't worry what regular expression, I'll teach later. And this string is what you want to replace it with. Replace what and replace with what. Okay, simple as that. Now what do you want to replace here? I want to replace the replaceable character is dollar. Correct. So I'm just mentioning that. Now this is the regular expression by itself because it's a pattern. Let's say there are some unwanted characters. Let's say the characters look like, I mean, just for an example, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I don't want A, B, C, or it could be anything. Any alphabets I don't want. I just want the numbers, right? So in that case, the regular expression will be something like this: A to Z, or if it is a capital letter, capital A to Z. Okay. So this would be the regular expression. I can replace with something. So regular expression will be a different topic altogether, but just for the time being, understand that the pattern for the given string will be represented by the regular expression. So if I want to replace this whole alphabetical character, the regular expression, the general sentence is this one. This tells what it might have 1000 words, 1000 sentences. Wherever there are these characters A to Z, small and A to Z capital, just replace them. That's what it is telling. Okay. Okay, let's say I don't want the numbers. I want to replace numbers. So what is a pattern for number? Simple. Well, all the numbers are lying between 0 to 9. So this will represent all the 9 numbers. Okay. And the occurrence, number of occurrences could be mentioned by star. So this will tell any number of numbers. So even if you have 1000 numbers, all will be represented by just single regular expression. Okay, so this is a vast topic, but for the timing this is required, but I will tell you later. I have actually captured the notes also. Okay, so in this case what I want to do is simply my number is something like this in the web page, and there is a unwanted character in it, which is dollar. Now all I want to replace is dollar. Okay. Now what I want to replace this with? Okay. My technique is just replace it with nothing, and you will get rid of this. Okay. So let's try and print it and see if it is working. So that's the debugging, right? So let's this out and modified. Let's call it modified total equals and whatever the total. Okay. Okay, so just to demonstrate these modified values are coming without that sign or not. So let's give it a try again. So this is all arithmetic calculations. That's what we are doing right now. That is a part of validation. So okay, so let's see now. I think it must be done. Yeah, okay, so there is some error also. So that's good. We get errors, we can fix them. Okay. Modified tax is fine. 96. See, this symbol is gotten rid of. But this in this total price it's not. Let's see what happened. So it threw number format exception. Okay, so number format exception is because it is complaining this is not a number. Obviously this is not a number, it is a string. So that's a mistake. So let's not use this technique. This technique is used only when there is a okay, let's see, actually it should work for the string also because I am taking a string. For input string, this one number format exception occurred, modified total price where I'm storing total price dot replace or okay, I'm storing in total price and I'm printing total price. All right. Let's use this bracket. It should work. All right. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, okay. Now it is working fine. Okay, the mistake I done is I did not put brackets. Regular expressions you have to put in brackets. So I put it for 0 to 9 and A to Z, but I forgot for dollars. So whatever the symbol may be, just embed them inside the square brackets. So for the regular expression, that is mandatory. So it still works. So I wanted to use this technique for this one, but both technique would work. So all you have to do is understand what you want to do with the string. So in here I want to start from first index, not the 0th index, so I took substring. In this case I just want to replace some unwanted character, so I use the replace all function. So here substring function, here replace all function, both are in string class. Okay, so this takes number of two arguments, and one is what you want to replace and what you want to replace with. Here it only takes one argument, that is integer. Where do you want to start from? I want to start from first index. Okay, everybody got that right? Any questions? Okay, if no more questions, we are good to validate this. That means just by calculation. Now all we have is the integers right now. Okay, so let's do it quickly and let's call it a night. Okay, so now my calculation is if this plus this multiplied by this plus this is this, then it's pass, otherwise fail. Correct? That is the requirement. Requirement says depart price plus return price multiplied by number of passengers plus taxes should be exactly equal to the total price. That's the requirement. So let's do that. Okay, so for validation, how many values we need? Two values. One is expected value, one is actual value. We have already done validation before, right? This is the second validation, I guess. Okay, so we will define two variables. One is expected price and one is actual price. So two values, and let's let them be integers because these are numbers, not strings. So we have to declare them as integers. So expected total price. Okay, one integer. Second one is, what is it? Actual. Every time same thing. You need two values for validation. So this is the actual validation happening right now. So let's create another function if you want to. So this is all happening in summary, right? So let's not do that. So what we are going to do, this is validate. Okay, that's okay. Summary and validation both are okay. So because the validation is done in the summary itself, so let it be same. Okay, so what is the expected total price? Expected total price equals to, I can put it right here. What is the expected total price? Yes, tell me. Expected total price is according to the requirement. It should be, just now I told you, I'll just write it here, the formula. Total price equals to depart price, I'll just depart, plus return price, right? Actually return is a keyword. Okay, depart, let me write the whole thing. Depart price plus return price, that is a formula that is determined by the requirement. I can't do anything about it. I have to take it in, multiplied by total number of passengers, total number of passengers, then plus taxes, correct? That is a requirement. Okay, so now let's do the same thing. Actual price is whatever is this displayed in the runtime. Okay, so we can take it and put it exactly. So total price, I can actually call this one total price, because actual price is the one which is displayed on the web page runtime. So this is the total price. Now we want to compare this, and so let's see what is the expected. So this equals, okay, depart price int, okay, that is first, add it to return price int. Why we are taking int? Because it's an integer value. Okay, now multiplied by, that means what is the multiplication symbol? Star, then what is the value for number of passengers? Number of passengers int, because string is converted into integer, simple as it. Okay, that is done. Now we have to, according to the requirement, this is the requirement, okay, plus taxes. Okay, so let's do that. Taxes, then taxes int. Okay, so this is just for your understanding. I'll just write it as requirement, and you're going to take requirement from BRS document or SRS document. That is all, you know. Okay, now we got expected total price according to formula, these, and actual total price is whatever price displayed in this. Now we want to verify this calculation equals to this one. Now how do you verify both? You already know. If condition, right? If expected total price. Now this is not a string. You don't have to use dot equals. So now right now you can use double equals, because you are comparing two integers. Otherwise we have to put dot equals. That is for strings. We have already seen that. Now if this equals exactly equals actual total price, then you simply want to print to the console for the time being. Pass, and let's say actual total price. Yeah, so I want to print this clearly pass. Okay, otherwise the condition will be else, and I just want to copy here. So otherwise obviously it would be fail, right? And expected total price, let's say not equal to total price. Okay, so obviously it's going to pass, because manually if you do the calculation using calculator, it will be exactly. So let's do this. Okay, everything is called in the test case. We don't have to do anything, but just to run it again. Okay, I'm gonna end in 2 minutes. Don't worry, it's already 10:18 because we started late, so it's 1 hour late. Okay, now ending execution is done. Okay, let's verify our results. What happened with the results? Okay. Okay, so all this is okay. We have already seen this. So let's jump to the validation directly. Now, what is the validation? Is it a test case pass or fail? Or what do you see?
Pass.
Pass. The last statement says pass because both are exactly matched. So you can verify manually also, it's a match. So now important thing is all the hard work went into capturing these values, parsing these values, getting rid of unwanted characters, and parsing, and then calculating, then comparing. All this drama went in. So that's that. I mean, you have to work on this every time. Now, if you want to create a reusable function for it, you can do that because you don't want to do this every time. So that those things enhancements we will see in the next class. And the homework right now, you already know, right? I already explained you homework. What is the homework? Can anybody remember?
We have to fill up this one.
Correct. Yeah, you just have to fill up this. 1, 2. Meal preference, you can leave it or okay. If you work on these drop downs, so there are text boxes, there are drop downs. That's all, and a button. Okay, don't worry about this billing because it's already filled in dummy address. Okay, no, don't worry about this. Just this section, passengers and credit card section. Now, what do you want to do with this? Simply create two, not two, already created. Okay, don't even have to create new classes because it's already created. Book a flight. Go to this and capture those XPath and store here, and go to this and create a new function because that's the old function. Summary is a function is already done. Create a new function passengers, create a new function credit card, and just op dot set text, op dot select drop down, and call this and pass the values. Okay, now you can actually update these values too because this first name should come from this. It's already done. So get the value first name from data pool. How do you do that? You already know. Register page has the same thing, right? So if you go to register page, I'll show you. We are going to use it a lot. So hash map is already there. The hash map is populated with all the test row, the whole row from the data pool. Okay, and wherever I pass, instead of passing Sangam here, I am taking TC data, test case data dot get pass the first name. Okay, so first name, last name, you are going to do exactly similar way. And when it comes to this, you are going to do the same thing. So you can create one more meal. Okay, so there's this thing missing. So let's create one meal. All right, and meal value you can put it as, let's say it is a vegetarian. Okay, so let's put vegetarian. Exactly, you have to type the same way. Okay, so now you know how to pass this value. How you're going to pass this value? Same way, tc data dot get, then pass meal. Exactly, M capital. Okay, don't use capital. Okay, just use small. Okay, got it. So just fill these blanks. Same thing, credit card. You create data pool value. Okay, so all you have to do is create XPath, create data pool value for these. What are those? I'm not going to fill all the data pool values. So all you have to do is first name, last name is already there. Just enter first name, last name for the second passengers. So call them first name to last name to here. Okay, and create credit card here. Okay, call this credit card, enter some dummy number and credit card type 1 2 3. So all you have to do is first name, last name 2 3 4 5 6. That's it. 6 make 6 address. Okay, yeah,
how can I get all your like Selenium recording after your all classes, because you have done lots of classes that I missed, I think. So how will I get all your recording?
That is
class recording?
that's what I'm saying. Asad will is Asad sending you, because this session is being recorded. Okay.
Yeah,
So Asad,
all session is being recorded because.
right. So you will get the recordings from Asad. So ask Asad. I think he is sharing.
Actually, I want your all recording.
That's what I'm saying. Asad is storing these recordings as MP4 files in a Google Drive. Okay. So ask Asad to share that. I'll also ask in today's email. So he will send that link for you, and you can just click and you will see. You can go there, download.
And I will see all your classes.
Correct. Yeah, all your from the beginning. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so that's all for tonight, guys. So any questions you can ask me, or I'll send this project and homework details in the email, and a request to Asad for sharing the recordings. And you have to do this homework because this is very easy. I have created a classes already. All you have to do is just enter the XPaths regularly. Similarly, okay, if the table, just use a table. Same technique I've used today. And flows, define the flows. Entering op.set text, op. Select, drop down, all the functions are readily available. Just enter this data in data pool. Okay, so that's the extra thing. So 3 tasks. Okay, everybody's clear on that? Any questions, any doubts on the homework itself?
No.
Okay. All right, so no more questions. Good night, guys. See you in the next class.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.